Hello, good morning. It's Phil Thatch and I'm here at Harrison Bay State Park. I'm just exiting the Bay Point Loop Trail, and at the trailhead here at the Bay Point Loop Trail they've got a garden that actually two gardens flanking the trailhead, and it's a really great place for macro photography. It's not quite ready. Today's June 1st. It doesn't have as many flowers as it will a little bit later in the season, but I'm going to go ahead and do some macro photography here. The gear I'm using today is the Canon R6 Mark II with the RF 100mm macro lens. I'm using the Meike MK320 flash at 1/4 power, and I'm diffusing with a Crafty Bells bonnet diffuser. Unfortunately, Crafty Bells has gone out of business, so I don't guess you can get one of these anymore, but I'm really happy with mine. I don't put the lens hood on when I do macro photography, but I do use a UV filter on the front. That keeps me from bumping my front element against things when I'm trying to get really close. I mentioned that I'm going with 1/4 power on the flash. I'm using 200 ISO, 1/160th shutter speed, and my aperture, I'm moving that around from f8 to f11, and that's where I'm going to kind of start, and we'll see how that goes. One of my favorite insects to photograph is a milkweed bug. They're really beautiful, have dark blacks and nice contrasting red, and there's a lot of those here. Most of them are mating presently, or I think that's what they're doing. Here are two pair of milkweed bugs there on the flower, and it looks like both pair are mating and trying to make more milkweed bugs. Here's another pair of milkweed bugs. These are on the leaves instead of the flower blooms. Just a beautiful little bug, the milkweed bug. I love the colors. Here is a single milkweed bug. No, wait a minute. If you look close, I think there is another milkweed bug attached back there. Maybe I should just take a picture of a flower. Here's a flower. If you look really close, there are a couple of ants on this bloom. And here's another flower with two more milkweed bugs. I'm getting frustrated with this. Maybe I should just take another flower picture. Here is a flower, and it looks like no bugs are on it. This is the same kind of flower. It's just not blooming yet. Now let's see if I can find, look, here are some more milkweed bugs, but these are not getting busy. They're just having a nice conversation on the flower. They're friendly little bugs. I've been shooting nowhere near 1:1 and even further away from this lens's maximum magnification of 1.4:1, but I found a little weevil right here, just tiny. The thing's maybe 1/4 inch long, and I had to get to 1:1 or maybe a little over that to get a shot of it. I think, you know, it's really difficult. Macro photography is hard, but I think I finally got one that is sharp and acceptable on this beautiful yellow flower. I was really happy and excited just to find a weevil. I've always thought they were amazingly cute, and even more so, I was happy to be able to get a photograph of it and have it be pretty much in focus. Thrilled with this one. Loved the cute little weevil. I hope you like it too. I found a really tiny bee on this coneflower, probably about 1/3, maybe at the most 1/2 the size of a honeybee, and I followed it around for 2 or 3 minutes. It was covered in pollen, and I think maybe, just maybe, I might have gotten one decent shot. Here is the really tiny and cute pollen-covered bee. I did get one shot that I was happy with. I took a number of shots, but it was really hard to bag it just right. And here is a granddaddy longlegs. Now, my friend Peter Vero taught me what they're actually called last year, and I forgot. So he'll have to teach me again. I still call them a granddaddy longlegs. Oh no, it's two more milkweed bugs. These are trying a new position, but I believe they are attached at the back end, so they're probably mating too. I found the little bee again, or maybe one exactly like it, this time here in the other planter. Matter of fact, it's still there. And I did some more shots, and I had a little bit better luck this time. I think I got maybe 2 this time that are presentable. I'm pretty sure this is the same pollen-covered bee, even though it was a few minutes later and on a different flower. Really happy with both of these shots. Here's the first one. Lots of pollen on this bee, and then here is another shot, even maybe slightly closer up. I was shooting right around 1:1 or maybe 1.2:1 for these shots. Just an amazing little creature. One of the hardest things for me when I'm working on macro photography is just finding subjects, but I walked around the edge of the parking lot past the 2 little gardens and looked at all these leaves that are right on the edge at head level, and I found one interestingly colored moth, and I think I got a shot that's decent, close to decent. I believe this is called a painted moth, and look how beautiful it is. I was happy to find it, and right after I said I was struggling to find bugs, I started finding them way easier. I even found my little buddy, the pollen-covered bee again, this time on another flower, and of the photos I got of this one, I think this is my favorite. Look at this creature that I found. This is some form of assassin bug. I'm not sure exactly what species of assassin bug it is, but it's an assassin bug of some sort. And this next creature is a Gianna, which is some form of moth. And I'm showing it to you in two different ways. First, I'm showing you the cropped version, but I really like the composition of the shot when it's not cropped. Look at the juxtaposition of the cone flowers with the Gianna moth there in the center of the frame. I really love the way this shot turned out of this unusual moth. I just met a couple from Germany. They came out of the trail and I asked them if they had done the whole loop, which is 4.5 miles, and they did. And I talked to them for a few minutes and they loved it. There were lots of deer that they saw on the trail, and I had a big fail. I didn't take their picture. I should have taken their picture. And then right after that, I was just about to pack up and go home, and I looked around just a little bit more, and right here, this little wire protection thing on this post had a jumping spider in it. And I made a few shots. I'm sure at least one of them was good. So let's look at the jumping spider. I'm always thrilled to find and photograph a jumping spider, and you got a sense of scale. Look at the wire there in the photograph. That's really thin wire, and it's really huge next to the jumping spider. And here it is on the post, and this picture was a vertical picture, but I turned it horizontal, and I did that with this next one as well. But once again, I was really happy to find and photograph a jumping spider, one of the cutest creatures you'll find in macro photography. Okay, that's going to do it for me today. My first macro video of the year, and I made this on June the 1st. I waited all the way until June to start doing macro photography. I've been kind of concentrating on birds, which is my favorite thing, but I really enjoy macros, and I'm sure through the summer I'll have lots more macro content coming your way. Give me a thumbs up if you don't mind. I sure would appreciate that. Subscribe, hit the bell if you want to see some more. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. It's Phil Thatch from Harrison Bay State Park. Bye-bye.